Today on Softball 360, presented by the ASA, a front row seat at the world's largest softball tourney. It's simply known as McQuade's. Thousands of players and teams rally, and as always, it's all for charity. The ASA Long Haul Bombers Power Tour heads to Texas and the home of the Rangers. For these two Texans, it's like American Idol for softball. We'll explain. Venus Taylor travels to Southern California for the 9th edition of the World Cup of Softball. The ladies of Team USA take on the best softball teams on the planet. Those stories and an update from the junior men's team slather on the sunblock. The summer of softball is here, and Softball 360, presented by the ASA, starts right now.
Excited to bring you the news, features, and the how-to.
All right, it's time to get it on.
Welcome to Softball 360, presented by the ASA. I'm Carly Applin, your tour guide to all things softball. We're going to continue our summer of softball at the world's largest softball tournament. That's right, the world's largest. It's simply called McQuade's, and it's all for charity. Let's head to Bismarck, North Dakota for all the action.
Welcome to the wonderful world of McQuade's, a softball tourney like no other. This is the largest gathering of softball teams in the world. Hi, camera.
You have to see this event to believe it. If you've never been here, it is truly the Woodstock of softball.
For close to 4 decades, softballers have been making the trek to North Dakota. Big crowds are the logical follow-up as thousands flock to Bismarck, making McQuade's a softball happening.
You know, we have a lot of teams here that plan their summer vacation around the McQuade tournament. There's a lot of reasons why teams come here. There's great competition here that comes, and people that win this tournament say, we would rather win the McQuade tournament than even our own state tournament.
McQuade's is well organized with fantastic fields and facilities that attract great competition. But it gets better. All this is done for charity. The tournament is run by volunteers, and all proceeds go right back to the local community.
They're not playing for money. They're here for a good cause. They're here for a good time, and they're here for the camaraderie.
This year, Mother Nature threw a rise ball, but did a hard rain stop the softballers? Heck no.
You can't compete with Mother Nature.
Good old North Dakota beer sausage. Doesn't get better than that.
Teams from across the nation and Canada came and played hard around the clock. While the softball is serious, so are the fun and games. A McQuade's tradition involves a personal cooler to beat the heat on hot summer nights. Coolers in all shapes, sizes, forms, and functions. Some with speakers, and even a custom motorized cooler. This season brought some very special guests. The Wounded Warriors amputee softball team. 1 part inspiration, 2 parts athletic skill, and always completely amazing. Wounded in the line of duty, these American soldiers turned softball ambassadors, giving us all a reason to carry on. We'll meet more of the Wounded Warriors on the next episode of Softball 360. Giving back to local charities and some softball, not a bad combo. For the folks who volunteer at McQuade's, there's no greater reward.
We'll have more on McQuade's a little later in the show, but now it's Stadium Power Tour time as the ASA Long Haul Bombers head to the great state of Texas and the home of the Rangers. Here's a preview.
The saying goes, they do things big in Texas, starting with the Cowboys' Texas-sized football stadium. Talk about keeping up with the Jerry Joneses.
This would be, so you look pretty good in this, I think.
Lovely. If this goes on 360, you're in trouble.
This is
Right next door is Globe Life Park. It opened in 1994 and conjures up images of ballparks from back in the day and seats close to 50,000. Tonight, T stands for temperature. Game time temps in the triple digits, greeting fans in the Lone Star State.
It's so hot, we've got to cool off with the Stadium Power Tour. Woo!
Indoor BP is one way to beat the heat, as the Rangers coaches offer some insight.
If you want to get ready early, get your hands ready early. If you get your hands ready early, your foot will get down in time.
As showtime approaches, 50,000 sweaty fans are ready. In the middle of it all, 2 local ASA Texas softballers with the opportunity of a lifetime. They get to take a few swings with the big show. Do Leaf Nemo and Stewie Snell have what it takes to get to the next level? Will Combat's Johnny Quick Draw McCraw get back on track to the finals? And can Miken's Denny Crine stay on track to crack the threshold of a 4-time championship on the ASA Stadium Power Tour?
You know, I got to go out there. I got my work cut out. I'm chasing everybody right now, so a good number tonight is very important.
What about Crine? The champ is back?
Who?
Crine.
Crine? There ain't no crying in this crap. Oh, Crine, Denny. Never heard of him. Is he still in this thing?
The fireworks are just getting started in Texas, folks.
We'll be back in Texas a little later in the show, and make sure to stay connected with us by logging on to softball360.com, and of course hit me up on Facebook and Twitter. More to come on Softball 360, presented by the ASA.
Still ahead, Miken's Denny Crine heads to Texas as Combat's Johnny McCraw and Big Bad Chris Griner are making a move to upset the returning champ. Venus Taylor is out in the crowd with the fans of the World Cup of Softball as teams from the USA, Japan, Venezuela, Philippines, and more square off in Southern California. Softball is a social sport for sure. For a textbook example, head back to McQuade's, where a one-of-a-kind softball reunion is underway. And leading the charge is the president of the Minnesota Twins. But first, the 2014 edition of the Firemen's Tournament was full steam ahead in Minnesota. Another record-setting weekend as the Bloomington Police took on the Firemen. The Firemen's sells out every year and attracts the top players and teams from North America and Canada, and all the proceeds go to charity. Softball 360 is brought to you by ASA USA Softball, the national governing body of softball in the U.S. By Easton Sports, there is a difference. The difference is Easton. By Miken Sports, elite equipment for the elite player. Miken Sports. By DeMarini. Upgrade your game with the DeMarini Stadium CL22 and Flipper Aftermath. And by OfficialGear.com, the one-stop shop for umpires and officials.
Welcome back. You've heard of the World Cup of Soccer. Well, softball has their own version, the World Cup of Softball. And the best players on the planet compete to see who owns the globe. Our reporter Venus Taylor is on assignment at the World Cup in Irvine, California.
Dateline, sun-kissed Irvine, California, and the 9th edition of the World Cup of Softball. The best women's teams from around the globe gather, and the competition is world-class.
At the World Cup, we have so many teams representing from different countries. There's Team USA, Mexico, Japan, Philippines, Canada. They're from all over the world, and they bring so much to the table, a different level of competition, different cultures. Let's listen in and see what it's all about.
Yes, got it!
On this day, all eyes are on Team USA as an amazing collection of the best softball players from America go to work. Their mission statement includes teamwork, dedication, and the pride and responsibility that comes with representing the United States.
It's really great to see like all these countries playing for, one common goal, trying to get that gold medal, and it's just really neat seeing, all the different cultures.
I just feel like as a team, our chemistry is starting to come together and we're just meshing as a team.
The World Cup is a showcase for softball. A national TV audience beholds the beauty of different cultures at play. A primetime game features powerhouse teams from Japan and the U.S. going head-to-head, toe-to-toe in a softball showdown of nations.
In the U.S., we're all about the quality of a 2-hour practice. We're on and off the field. We're very efficient. In Japan, culturally, if you want to be good at something, you spend a lot of time at it. So if you're not practicing 5 or 6 hours a day, you look like you're slacking off a little bit.
The energy here is amazing. These fans are outstanding. You can tell that they're into the game, they're cheering the players on and watching the best softball in the world.
It's just an amazing feeling just to see everyone who's out here supporting, and it's just awesome energy. It's the best energy you can feel.
The team sport, and you can rely on your team to back you up basically if you make a mistake, and then you can pull through for your team in any moment.
Plenty of opportunity for fans to meet and greet their softball heroes. At the Ultimate Fan Zone, a few lucky folks get a chance to lunch with Team USA.
The atmosphere of an international event just kind of makes you put your pride on your shoulders of whatever country, and that loyalty feeling as any country's fan, you're going to have a different atmosphere in the air.
More great plays and players as Team USA advances to the championship round.
I have these girls that know that they believe in me, and I believe in them so much. And I can look in the dugout, and when I'm on the field, I feel like they believe in me also. So it's like, really, we're 17 strong all the time.
The schedule picks up for Team USA. They travel abroad for Italian Softball Week and then the ISF Women's World Championships in the Netherlands. Next week, Venus Taylor goes one-on-one with Team USA head coach Ken Erickson as he fine-tunes his team for the road trip.
The philosophy of staying in the moment is huge for me. You know, I'm not a big statistical guy, in all honesty, when it comes to what you did in the past. But what we're going to try to do, and what we're going to try to accomplish today, and what they're presenting to us. So it's a respond and react type of thought process. And I think that we do better with that in life, and that's what we're trying to instill in these young girls today. So.
For the final results on World Cup softball, head to softball360.com.
Thanks, Venus. We'll have more from the World Cup in the weeks to come as Team USA heads to the Netherlands. More to come on Softball 360. Stick around.
When Softball 360 returns, how does the president of a Major League Baseball team relax? For the Minnesota Twins, Dave St. Peter, softball is the happy place. But first, congrats to the junior men's team, who played hard at the World Softball Championships in Whitehorse, Canada, for a 5th place finish. Congrats to Team Argentina, 2-time champs.
Welcome back to Softball 360, presented by the ASA. Softball is a sport that brings friends and family together. For an example, we head to the front office of a Major League Baseball team, the mighty Minnesota Twins, as Twins president and his softball team prepare for a one-of-a-kind 20-year reunion.
Softball brings teams, towns, and families together. Transcending recreation, the game helps relationships come alive.
We always have a lot of family reunion teams that get put together, or teams like this where people haven't played for a long time. And, you know, it's just a nice draw to the tournament.
Meet the team of Orser, Olson, and St. Peter. Formed in 1985, made up of standout athletes from Bismarck, Century, and St. Mary's High in North Dakota. After high school, the team went about the business of life, but 20 years later, they are back at McQuade's, playing in the men's Masters 35+ division.
It's an honor to be back here this weekend, partaking in it. It's raised a lot of money for charity. It's brought a lot of people together from really all over the region. And you know, it's the world's largest, and there's a reason for that. It's also probably the world's best run. They do a great job with this event.
One player who kept his sports dreams alive, right fielder Dave St. Peter. He's a Bismarck native who grew up on a ball diamond.
I love softball because pretty much everybody can play it. It's a sport that allows you to play deep into your 30s, 40s, maybe 50s.
Today, St. Peter is president of the Minnesota Twins, fresh from his success of hosting Major League Baseball's All-Star Game. But on this day, his focus is on softball and his team.
We've got about 20 guys who played at one point or another over a 3 to 7 year stretch, and at the end of the day, a lot of these guys haven't seen each other for 10, 15 years. So it's a special weekend, and yes, it's about softball, but it's more about friendship.
For Dave St. Peter, coming home means playing softball. While St. Peter's team did not win a championship this weekend, they are winners on a much grander scale. Lifelong friendships and a love of the game.
We were friends before softball. We're going to be friends after softball, but softball was certainly a conduit toward giving each other a lot of trouble, trying to work together as a team and have a lot of fun.
Softball laid the groundwork for Dave St. Peter. His work with the Minnesota Twins and Major League Baseball is world class. More to come on Softball 360 presented by the ASA. Stay tuned.
Texas-style softball at the home of the Rangers as Mike in combat and 2 of the luckiest players on the planet get a chance to swing for the fences. Please stay tuned. Softball 360 is brought to you by ASA USA Softball, the national governing body of softball in the U.S. By Combat Sports, not all bats are created equal. By Evil Sports, the best softball on the planet is evil. evilsports.com. By bpathletics.com. For the best service and price, bpathletics.com. By softballcenter.com, the site for major softball news. And by officialgear.com, the one-stop shop for umpires and officials.
Welcome back to Softball 360. It's Stadium Power Tour time as Team Easton, DeMarini, Combat, and Mikan battle for the Manufacturers Cup. Let's pick up all the action in Texas at the home of the Rangers. Game on.
Round 5 of the ASA Stadium Power Tour gets underway at the home of the Rangers. The Bombers take to the field with fierce headwinds and swampy air in front of a sellout crowd at the Rangers-Indians game. Today, 2 lucky Texas sluggers have an American Idol-like audition, a rare opportunity to hit with the ASA long-haul Bombers and perhaps break into the bigs. The rules of engagement are straightforward. Each slugger gets 15 swings and each home run is worth 1 point except the last pitch, the almighty money ball, worth 2 points and often the difference between victory and defeat. Up first, Texas All-Star Leaf Nemo, one of the best in Texas, goes off the wall. Not that easy, is it? But wait, the Texan has a moment and sends an evil softball soaring. Perhaps his tryout went well. Up next, Texas ASA All-Star Stewie Snell, a Lone Star local with plenty of potential. Look out, Lukenbach, as Stewie nails one deep into the yard. Stewie Snell and Leaf Nemo made their hometown proud. Now leading off for Team Combat, big bad Chris Griner. At 6'6" and close to 300 pounds, there's not much the G-Man will back down from. He's no stranger to the weight room, but has to take a back seat to Mother Nature as the strong, humid breeze kicked in and tampered down on his efforts. An off night for the big man, but trust me, he will be back. Combat's Johnny Quick Draw McCraw steps up. The leader from Team Combat played for the Astros, and he knows how to slice through the swampy, humid air. And whoa, daddy! Crawdaddy sends the ball into orbit from the Johnson Space Center. Big time show bomb, buddy. All of a sudden, McCraw has been upgraded to first class on Southwest, and he's making up points in his quest to make the finals of the ASA Stadium Power Tour. Now here comes the money ball, and just a tad short. Dang it. Time now for the king. Enter softball royalty as Mikan's big man gets to work. Denny Grand Slam Crine has blasted his way to 3 championships. Is he on the way to number 4? The classic Crine swing will get him there. Kaboom! Off the rail, and it counts. And yet another. On the money ball, goodbye. Touch 'em all, DC. crime leads the pack, it's clear. Don't mess with Texas or mess with crime.
Well, the winds kind of got in our head a little bit. It was blowing in, and so we kind of, all of us kind of overswinging a little bit, trying to get it out of here. And as usual, I did hit the furthest balls again. Nobody else can touch that upper deck but me. Same thing happened in Atlanta, and it's going to happen everywhere else we go.
For the latest on the points battle and who will make it to the finals in Oklahoma City in late September, log on to softball360.com.
Big crowds and a hot Friday night in the Lone Star State. For the latest on stats and who's on track to make the Stadium Power Tour finals, log on to softball360.com. That's all the time we have for you from all of us here at Softball 360. Thanks for watching. Now get out to the park and play.
Next week on Softball 360, gas up for the showdown in Motown. Mican's Denny Crine continues to defend his title at the home of the Tigers. Venus Taylor goes one-on-one with the head coach of the ladies of Team USA. Discover how Coach Erickson molds a team from 18 superstars. And meet the Wounded Warriors, the world's only amputee softball team. Wounded on the battlefield, they inspire as softball ambassadors. All next week on Softball 360, presented by the ASA.
Make sure to stay connected to us. It's simply called McQuade's.